welcome back to another trailer reaction from Hyper RPG. We're doing the trailer for The Punisher, the final trailer.
Official trailer 2.
Oh, man. Guys, we've been doing a lot of trailer reactions the last few
Hell
weeks.
yeah, because we didn't do them for a while because there wasn't anything coming out.
There was nothing to react to. Literally nothing.
Yeah,
we
there
hit
was
like
nothing.
after Comic-Con, we hit just this like dry spell of nothingness. But I'm super excited. Like the first trailer. Guys, thank you also for all the people who watched that first trailer reaction. That thing blew up so fast.
Absolutely.
That trailer was so dope.
Because we had no idea what was going on.
Metallica came on and I went, I'm going to love this show.
His wife got shot in the face.
Oh,
and
that was insane. That was pretty insane.
Yeah.
It turns out the internet likes to watch people react to a trailer that has a shocking moment in it.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Y'all are kind of fucked up.
That was a
That's
shocking,
a shocking moment.
That was as shocking as they come.
And also want to give a shout out to the internet that liked our discussion about Marvel's decision not to have a Punisher panel at New York Comic Con.
It was very positive.
We kind of got into some real stuff and talked about it. And you know, normally that kind of conversation doesn't happen on stuff like this.
And usually the comments are pretty bad about it.
Yeah.
But
they're mean.
yeah, they were really
They're mean
but
about stuff, but
honestly, like it was a really
you guys are great.
Actually, not difficult reading those comments.
No. I think everyone recognized how important of an issue it was. And sort of understanding why Marvel and Netflix decided to not bring this to New York Comic Con, which makes 100% sense. And, you know, we heard rumblings that there was potential that they were actually going to drop it the day of the panel. Obviously, ended up not happening.
We now have a release date. What's the release date?
November 17th.
November 17th?
Which is already causing controversy because it's the same day that Justice League comes out. My argument to that is one's a fucking movie.
Yeah.
One's a Netflix show.
There's no competition.
There is no
whatsoever.
competition. You're going to go to the theater on Thursday, Friday, watch Justice League. You're going to go home and put on The Punisher.
Yeah.
Or you just wait, do the other thing. You watch Netflix first and then you go
to
watch
the
a movie.
Or you save them both from when you have to go home and spend time with your family on Thanksgiving. And ignore your family by going to see Justice League and then binge watching 13 episodes of Punisher.
No, I can't ignore my family. I love them too.
Oh,
me too.
now
They're
I'm a dick.
amazing. My
And
family
they'll
is amazing.
And they'll disown me. So without further ado, let's watch this trailer.
Here we go.
Trailer!
I'm going to be like drinking halfway just in case there's a spit take. And I'm going to be
Lucas is going to love you. Here we go.
I know, right? I'm just kidding. I won't make a mess of this.
Gentlemen, I'm the only authority you will need. I point, you shoot. Did you kill the target?
What did you see? Things over there were different. What we were doing was wrong. You did what you were supposed to do, right?
Now, the only person you're punishing is yourself.
Frank Castle, I got something I need to show you.
I still have the video files. The U.S. military turned you into a hitman, Frank.
I'm looking for Frank Castle.
The Punisher.
I think you know about my case.
Castle's the last witness. We can either clean this up or let him take us down.
They killed my family to get to me. You have nothing but a war inside you. You're gonna pay.
Oh, snap.
This is not your fight.
Oh, no.
Oh, please, God, wait. I need to find these bastards. I gotta kill them.
So where does that end, Frank? What have you exposed them?
These men, they decide what the truth is.
The same thing that happened to you happened to me. We could make that right. The world needs to see the truth.
Must be taken November 17. That looked really, really good. It looked kind of like a gritty, like an indie movie.
Yeah.
That centers around PTSD. It centers around soldiers coming back from overseas, from war. All of those kinds of topics.
Around morality.
But there was so many like close-ups.
Right.
That I feel like they're really, really, really trying to give a really personal story of this character. Just a personal a character study. And what's interesting is that we get his origin and we get the post Daredevil season 2 appearance where he had to deal with Matt Murdock and stuff. So like, I mean, that's 13 episodes. We're probably going to get flashbacks, or is it going to do like a time jump? I'm not sure, but in any case, it's going to be over a period of time. Because I thought when he was coming back and he was meeting Microchip, I thought that he got information about Microchip in Daredevil because he found like a thing that said Microchip on it, and then I thought that's why that this show takes place after Daredevil, which it does. He was going to go find the guy, but now we have that this guy is maybe telling him about what the military did before his family got taken out. Maybe, I don't know. In any case, it seemed like they're going like the enemy of this Punisher series is going to be the people who killed Frank Castle's family. Normally, it's like that's just his origin, and then his enemies that he fights are like gangsters and criminals in New York. Like it's like Jigsaw, and it's like other people here and there, and sometimes they're used as part of his origin, and sometimes not. But it seemed like that's what this show's going to be. Is like he's going to take down the people who killed his family after he dealt with Daredevil.
Well, I think they. I don't want to say they really leaned into it in Daredevil, but they really made that sort of a pillar as to a pillar point of like why he is the way he is, why he's doing the things that he's doing, why his morality is the way it is. And I think in order to really make this show worthwhile, you have to sort of address that. And if the show does kind of start, the first few episodes is about sort of the origin of Frank Castle, and then we kind of get to this jumping off point that indicates time has passed. And then we kind of go into what the main sort of storyline is, which is getting vengeance for the murder of his family. That's a nice, really cool approach to the show because we haven't really done that too much. We've had a lot of flashbacks, but we haven't really spent a lot of time sort of doing the backstory of these characters. And because we got an introduction to him, it's going to be cool to see kind of going back and seeing how he got to where he got to. But the thing I love most about this trailer is the first trailer was very action oriented. It was built on the concept of
it was made to shock, just like how we
were rhythmic,
rhythmic, shocking,
bullets firing.
This one gave us sort of a more personal, sort of inside look.
Just sad.
It was more sympathetic.
It was more sympathetic. It has a lot more emotion, and I think that's a really great way to kind of show what the show is and the range of this show. I think if you had a second trailer that was again more action, you wouldn't really get sort of a 360 sense of what this show was trying to do.
Also, think about the world now, post what happened in Vegas. You're really walking a fine line at this point. Like those close-up shots, Hector, are very important because we have to build Frank Castle as not a mindless killer because he's not. The reason he's killing is because he's so pushed over the edge that this is his only choice at this point. Nobody else is going to do what he does. And you know what? This show, if it does what I think it should do, it should make you question your morality. It should make you look at Frank Castle and be like, "Fuck, man, I don't blame him."
What would I do in that situation? Because it is interesting to put him in a position of he's going up against the people that are in power. Sometimes that's what Frank Castle does, and sometimes his character isn't sort of treated that way in comic books, especially when he's not the main character. When he's a character who comes into a storyline, he is this sort of wrecking ball of carnage that other characters are like, "Stop! What are you doing? You can't just kill people."
He looks like a mindless killer sometimes.
But in this story, if he's saying in this trailer, these people are like the decision makers. These people do this. These people do that. These people have this power. Where when he was in the army, we find out he was apparently being manipulated. By people in those kinds of positions of power. That it's
we weren't doing the right thing.
Then you have a really sort of a sympathetic take on his origin
and
his
what you're going to need to do because otherwise he's going to look like a mindless killer. People are just going to gravitate to the show because it's an ultra-violent gun. If you want that, like go watch John Wick. But even John Wick had some really good moments where like the puppy. There's stuff you can get that from. But I think it's important for this show to not be just
because I think
it's not violence for the sake of violence.
Show. Because
I think even like something like John Wick, I think really you watch John Wick and you're like, okay, I'm done at 2 hours. Like I can't do 13 hours of this.
You can't.
This isn't necessarily a show. It would only be a show if let's go more into John Wick's backstory, what his psychology is like, what type of character he is.
John Wick is not a question of morality. You're just like, fucking get him, John Wick. Like go kill everybody.
And like tonally, they're very different types of movies. But John Wick is that sort of a character where it's like, I can digest this in 2 hours, and I'm good because it's a very
good.
Like with
give me action.
With
this
sort of a character,
let's hit this from every angle.
Yeah, let's approach it differently, and let's sort of like
you need to hit it from every angle, and you need to hit it right.
So it looks really good, man.
I'm still questioning the 13 episode span of this show, though.
Of course.
I'm really hoping Netflix turns it around because
And it's not just because it's a Punisher thing. This is an all characters thing. Like
every show needs to be 8. Let's see what Stranger Things does. If they can do a 9 episode arc, great. But a 13
we all dug Defenders pacing. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
We dug that.
And the thing, to me, almost just based on the couple trailers that we've seen, I almost feel like if of all the shows, this justifies 13 episodes more than the other ones.
Yeah.
Only because we are going to go into the backstory of Frank Castle's life, his family. We're going to see kind of what happens to his family, and then we're going to jump into what the aftermath of that is. So if they can sort of use that and
I hope so.
time it out in a way that makes 13 episodes feel justified, then
there was an attempt to do that with Luke Cage. Didn't quite stick the landing. And there's definitely the potential with that character. There was even an attempt to do that with Iron Fist.
Yes.
And I feel like Iron Fist was really tough because it's like you're going to need a budget to do that because Kunlun is a whole thing, but also didn't quite stick the landing.
Not even that. It's they cheapened the moment where his parents died by showing it so many times. Showing it over and over. Every time I saw it on screen again, I was like, this shit again. Like, I don't care. I don't care. I literally don't care.
You become immune to the feeling
This
of
is the 60th time I've seen your mom get sucked out of the plane, and I don't care.
I really hope they do not do that with the origin of Frank Castle.
I don't think they will.
I think you do it
think they will either.
In a very sort of impactful way. And then dealing with the
I mean, from what I've seen, it's impactful.
Yeah.
Seeing that blood splatter on the carousel was
right.
I don't need to see any more. Like I don't need to see anything besides that.
I don't even need to see the murder at this point.
No, I don't.
I'm like,
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Yeah, I understand terrible things happen to your family. I'm
for sure.
good.
My final thoughts on this, I'm super excited for it. And will we do a watch along? Probably. God, Lord,
Let's split it up over 2 days. 13 episodes.
We're gonna do a watch.
Yeah,
come on, man. 6 and 7.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
7 and 6.
Whatever it is.
All right.
Hector, where can we find you on the internet?
Find me on the internet at Hector is funny. Augustine?
Yeah, you can find me everywhere at L_Santo Taco. Adam?
You can find me at Adam Levitt. Guys, let us know in the comments what you thought about this final trailer for The Punisher, and we'll catch you at the watch along.